5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Weekend confirmed.
Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff.
Hey, this is Weekend Confirms Question of the Week. I'm Garnett Lee, and we hope you will send in your questions. I was just talking to Ryan. We're seeming to get like a group of regular contributors, but we'd love to have your questions. So hit us up on Twitter or on Facebook, and we will put your questions right here to the cast of Weekend Confirmed. This week's question comes from Fate Club on Twitter. It's my friend Daniel Fate over in Japan, and he's got a question about Tokyo Game Show, which is coming up in about 3 weeks. His question is, Nintendo is actively competing with Tokyo Game Show this year, and Level 5 is all but pulling out. If you run that show, is it panic time? Well, Daniel, I don't know if you agree with me. I would say that panic time was 3 years ago. What's happened with Tokyo Game Show, and if you go to the show, you've watched it decline, it's shrunk inside the halls, even the goods sales section, which used to be a huge part of the show, has gotten smaller. And it reflects, I guess the common thinking is that it reflects the lowered stature and importance of Japanese games in the global community. I disagree. I think that's what's happened here is that we've allowed ourselves, or the game community there has allowed itself to be shrunken and to be marginalized. Now, there's also an argument that a big part of that game show is Japanese domestic, as it ought to be. And so you see a number of mobile phone games, and you see a number of those PC games that are applicable only to that part of the world. So I think that, yes, it was panic time a couple, 3 years ago, and what they need to do is be out there much more aggressively engaging in some partnerships to get some energy back around Tokyo Game Show. Because this year, there are plenty of games that could get excitement. There's plenty of avenues that could get excitement. And yet, if the show is perceived as being reduced in stature, is perceived in the general community as being a smaller show, unimportant, it's just going to continue to decline. What needs to happen? First of all, it's Sony's home turf. Sony should be out there not just promoting it as a Japanese domestic show, but as a global show. They're going to have Last Guardian. They have a great opportunity to come out of this year's Tokyo Game Show with Vita about to launch, with a strong PlayStation 3 lineup, with a really great crop of potential games to say, here's what's awesome about PlayStation, and by the way, here's what's awesome about the game development community in Japan. And then I'd like to see the other developers embrace that as well. I'd like to see Sega embrace that. I'd like to see Capcom embrace that. I'd like to see Namco embrace that. And have these companies be, yes, we're doing a show in Japan, and we're doing a show for the Japanese domestic market. However, we're a global brand. And we know that we have people who could watch us from Europe, and we can watch us from America, and we'd like to talk to those people and be very active and engaged in courting that market. And I think if they were to do that, that the Tokyo Game Show has an ideal spot with where it falls in the fall to be a fantastic showcase for all of that sort of game design that needs to come back from Japan. So was it panic time? Yes. But is it ever too late? No, of course not. Someone needs to get in there with a really clear vision for what it could be and re-energize the Tokyo Game Show. This is Garnett Lee. Hope you will join us every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific on the iTunes or wherever you're getting Weekend Confirmed. Watch the pre-show video that Ryan worked so hard on, and of course, contribute your questions for this week's Question of the Week.